Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Rezolve AI. It is time for another update, and today we will be discussing about the levels that we must break and hold to keep this uptrend alive. But before we get there, I want to go quickly through the larger time frame, and here we are tracking a potential 5-wave move to the downside, which presents a risk of further decline even to new all-time lows, especially as long as we hold below the resistance level at a 78.6% retracement, which actually triggered this entire move to the downside perfectly. Now, I do want to mention on the larger time frame, it is possible to count this as an ABC structure as well, but again, not even this does prevent us from going to lower prices in something like an ABC pattern, very much in play, even if we don't have the 5-wave structure to the downside, especially since even in this pattern to the upside that we are tracking, we don't really have a reliable 5-wave move, at least not on a larger time frame. And here what we are tracking is a potential leading diagonal that could be forming and could lead this chart into a territory of a lot more confidence, where after we form a larger 5-wave move to the upside like this, we have an initial larger wave 1, which could be used to find a 1-2 setup afterwards after a 3-wave correction for a potential very strong wave 3 to the upside. Now, before we get there, we need to first build this initial wave 1, within which we have this smaller wave 1 in an ABC pattern here, an ABC pattern in a wave 2, and then we are tracking this ABC pattern, something like this, in a wave 3, where now we are expecting to find support in an ABC pattern in a wave 4 in the area between the $5.9 all the way down to the $3.4 level. And we will continue to track this possible uptrend continuation in an ABC pattern in a wave 5 as long as we hold the 61.8% retracement. Now, so far to the downside we have a 3-wave move, and in the previous video, in the smaller time frame, I presented to you the possibility of finding a bottom within this wave C within the next move to the downside, where it was likely that we get an additional move, and we got it, but there was a small problem with this interpretation, because we had, and it's perhaps not correct to say the interpretation was wrong, because we had this assumption from the beginning. Since this initial movement down, let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Since this initial movement down that we were tracking as an initial wave 1 was longer than the follow-up wave 3 structure that we were tracking, the rule states that the wave 3 cannot be the smallest wave. So this count only remains valid since the wave 1 is already longer than the wave 3. This count only remains valid as long as the 5th wave to the downside is not longer than the wave 3. At the moment, this does still apply, so the count could still work out. Normally we do expect the wave 3 to be the longest, but that is not the actual rule. The rule is that the wave 3 cannot be the shortest, and at the moment, within this 5th wave to the downside, we haven't gotten to the 100% extension of the wave 3, which means we can still work with this count, but I do want to caution a warning sign, because since we extended so low within this 5th wave extension, I do believe there is a good chance that this may be just still part of an internal wave 3, where, in that case, we should be prepared for a possible extension of this larger wave C in orange, where so far we have a pattern something like this, and actually let me remove this extension to make it clear, but we have then a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, a 3rd wave down, and then we should be watching out still for a 4th wave to the upside and a 5th wave continuation. Now, at the moment, I don't have any sign, any signal that we have indeed stopped this direct descent to the downside, and we may still be within it, but there is nothing really worth tracking in that small of a time frame. And instead, what I do prefer to watch out for is a more generic area of resistance that I would be tracking here for an extension in a follow-up wave 4. Now again, it is at the moment still possible for us to have already bottomed within this wave 4 in white, but I am showing you, I am highlighting the levels that must be broken for this to actually be the case. And in this wave 4, we are looking for resistance between the $4 level all the way up to the $4.8 level at the 61.8% retracement, where if we manage to break above that level, the 61.8% retracement, we are looking with a higher degree of a likelihood to have actually bottomed within this movement to the downside. Now, I want to make clear the level that must be breached through this extension lower to have a confirmation that this wave 3, that this pattern cannot really be full, and that would be the $3.5 level. If we break below that, well, then the third wave would be the smallest, and we would really have no choice but to assume that we will still extend further downside afterwards. And for now, for the bullish perspective, I am still watching the 61.8% retracement in white at the $3.3 level for continuation to the upside, and I am watching to break the 61.8% retracement here in orange for a signal that we may indeed have bottomed within this wave 4. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.